You low down dirty rat. You killed my brother.
What?
Now that I've got your attention, the red light must be on. You don't remember that from Blue Streak? The gut knives?
Yes.
The gut. Thank you. Okay, thank you, brother. I was supposed to sell it at the end. Catch people off guard.
Oh my gosh.
There it is. We missed a week, and so much has happened, and we have to talk about the greatest soap opera in the history of professional wrestling. It is back, ladies and gentlemen. It has returned as the Bloodline turns is back. And you know what? That goddamn Paul Heyman was right. Maybe at the time we were in the freaking third. Got some catching up to do. We missed the show last week. And why, Sammy, why? We are going to get into all that and more. Not to mention this mess leads into Crown Jewel, which is this Saturday as of this recording. Brothers, I'm glad we had this conversation. I think I'm okay right now. I might not be, but nothing is going to stop me because once again, our favorite soap opera is back and we got to get into it, brothers. Let's go. Let's get it.
Problem.
Yes! What you gonna do? 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 What you gonna do?
Such an excellent. Hold it. Welcome to the Wrestling Wrealm Now podcast, where we take a deeper dive into the world of professional wrestling. Now, I'm a week out on Big Wrestling. I am your host, the realness himself, big man, the real Wayne Allen, in the building tonight, and he is your host, Mr. Super Producer, Brother Hugh has the third, A to the A to the S, T to the H to the E, 3 to the R to the D, in the building tonight, and he is your host, the heart and soul, the founder of the Wrestling Wrealm, Brian H. Waters, in the building. And not to mention, he is your host, not just any guy, but Brandon the guy, who will be taking a sabbatical this week. He might pop in, you never know. We have all types of surprise run-ins. But welcome to the Wrestling Wrealm Now podcast. Brothers, we are back for another week. Yes, we missed last week because clearly I was down. And I was down bad. But I am somewhat here today. And so much has gone on. So much has transpired from the last time we had this conversation. So, of course, the brothers got to get back so we can figure out what the heck is going on in the world of professional wrestling. But in order to talk about what's going on in the world of professional wrestling, you cannot skip over not just Mondays when you have Raw, not just Tuesdays when you have NXT, because something very special happens every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Entitled Championship Culture, found on youtube.com/The Wrestling Wrealm, where Championship Culture, Brandon the guy, Brother Hugh, they dive into everything championship culture related. And this Tuesday was absolutely no different. Once again, now, because Brother Guy is absent today, Brother Hugh, you have to play rock, paper, scissors with yourself. Please give the people just a smidget, a taste of what this week's episode of Championship Culture was all about. He really played rock, paper, scissors. I did. Between him and himself.
Well, I'm actually watching the match right now. I know we're moving on to a different segment, but I'm watching New Day versus the Usos, the Hell in a Cell match 2017. I'm rewatching it again. And I talked about it on the last show where we talked about, we always try to answer this question. No matter what title it comes to, we always try to answer this question. Who wore it better?
Take the clown.
Bad out. There it is. And we talked about pennies and nickels. That's what we talked about on Championship Culture. Who wore these titles better? Who were the top teams to ever rock these championships? And of course, I think number one overall
Mhm.
to be New Day. I would have to say New Day overall for all three belts.
Mhm.
But
All three belts, huh? Really?
all three.
Mhm.
To be honest, as a whole. But if you want to break it down, I gotta say the copper. I said Team Hell No because New Day is just too obvious with me.
You're gonna say
So,
Team Hell No. You talk
I'm
about
gonna
Team
say-
Hell No all night on the show.
Absolutely, I did.
Just gonna make sure of that.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as SmackDown, I would say gotta be the Usos.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The greatest.
Simply because of the Bloodline story, though. That's my only beef with it, though. Is it
Oh,
just
boy.
is it just because of the Bloodline saga? Because if you look at it on paper, New Day has more championship reigns than the Usos with those titles.
Mm.
But the Usos are the longest running.
That might be true.
So that's what always goes. Which more?
That's what I was saying. Like, so I was kind of conflicted at that time, and I was saying, like, look, I originally went with New Day because they have 7 reigns as opposed to the Usos 5. But like you said, you had more reigns, but you had to lose. The Usos, they held it for forever, what, 2 years plus?
Well.
Let me say this.
So,
Right.
I'm glad them joints gone.
yeah.
Yeah.
I never liked the pennies, the nickels, the dimes. I was so happy when they finally, like, out of all the titles that they had, I feel like those were the longest running. That design was the longest running.
Yeah, since freaking Carlito and Primo held them. Had the 2 separate belts.
Yeah, what year was that when they first introduced them?
The copper?
Whichever. Yeah, just that whole design.
2010. April 26, 2010.
14 years. That's longer than the Winged Eagle. That's longer than the Intercontinental.
Yeah. That ugly design. Yep.
Yeah.
Actually, the more and more I kept looking at it, because I had to make the graphics and get pictures together and whatnot, I was like, hold on. They kind of they pop a little bit. It's kind of like the same. It's kind of now, right? It's kind of like that thing with the spinner. Like I didn't appreciate it then, but once you keep looking at it over time, it's like, they're not too bad. They're not too bad. But I'm going more into like the details and the actual structure of the design of the belt.
No, don't fall.
I would say don't hit the belt too hard.
Right.
You know what the crazy part is? I really talk trash about those belts now that we got a new pair of gorgeous tag titles.
Yeah.
But my fault. When you brothers done, give me a 2 cents about this particular. No, listen, because I want you to get Brian doesn't give us a whole lot of wrestling belt tickets, so he's not a fan of these championship belts, and I'm not either. But
Thanks.
But like I said, brother, you seem to have you spend a little bit extra time with these championships, and it sounds like you have a newfound appreciation for these.
Newfound appreciation. It's still hideous. I'm not gonna lie, but
okay, fair enough.
I'm learning how to accept it.
Okay, well, that's true. Don't get me wrong. You're absolutely right, brother. There was a lot of history wrapped up in these tag titles, and you're also correct. These things were absolutely ugly, but in order for me to properly express how I feel about this situation, because like I said, I was down for a little bit last week. I couldn't get myself together, but I did watch the show. So you know what that means, right? It means I've got notes. Here's Brian H.
Now you done already added the sound effect. Now you got to add more sound effects.
Sorry, Absolutely. It's like double. It's like live and it's like recorded. It's like Raw Nitro back in '98.
Okay.
This episode of Championship Culture, who were better? The focus were these hideous tag titles that have so much of our famous history wrapped up in them. So, what exactly do you have to say, Realness, about these particular championship belts? It's real simple.
Talk to us.
Here we go. It's real articulate. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
The pennies, the New Day. SmackDown titles, the Usos. The Raw titles, the Good Brothers. I'm completely biased and I have no shame about it. And yes, Brother Brandon is absolutely correct. I absolutely hate those belts. That is all. And there's that. That's what I had to say.
Man, hold up. What? Somebody tweeted at Arion Forgive me if I pronounce your name wrong, brother. The
Uh-oh.
Young and the Useless.
Wow.
Oh, my God. That's,
We should have took a poll like, yo, come up with the most creative bloodline soap opera names for what's going on, because that, good brothers, is pretty much the meat and potatoes of what we're talking about tonight. That is the main event of our show. Now, don't get me wrong, we'll be closing with the Crown Jewel preview, because this stuff spills in the Crown Jewel. We got an announcement about the Bloodline Civil War taking place at Crown Jewel, which is insane. I wasn't expecting that. I was like, oh shoot, we're going to jump into this already. So we're going to talk about all that and more, but we have to get into one of the most important things we do every week. Is we have a special segment called What Did You Watch, where we just talk about briefly what did we get into this week. And as the Bloodline turns, which is the name of this soap opera, is a part of that segment. So people, I like to bring you along as we dig into our favorite segment. What did you watch? Sponsored by our good friends at SeatGeek.
If you're looking to purchase tickets to concerts, live shows, sporting events, and more, head over to SeatGeek.com, where you can use our promo code Wrestling Realm for any one-time purchase of $50 or more. That's promo code Wrestling Realm on any one-time purchase of $50 or more.
Good brothers, what did you watch? Now, we missed a week, but a lot has happened, right? Especially with this whole Bloodline situation, which I can't wait to dive into. But good brothers, what did you watch this week?
Man, I actually tweeted this today. I'm sitting here and I had the right mind, as my father would say. Shout out to H.
Big H.
Yes, sir.
I had the right mind to watch Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens, Royal Rumble 2023.
Interesting.
Now this is the Royal Rumble I was at, my first Royal Rumble, and by the time this match came on, they took us to the press box so that we could go to the presser. And by the time I got to it was like soon as the 3 count happened, boom, come on, get out of there. So we all watched it on our phones the moment Sammy turned. But to sit back and rewatch that, because I'm not feeling Sammy Uso, or excuse me, Sami Zayn trying to get involved.
Did you hear that, Brother Dwayne?
I was about to say, what did you just say? Why Sammy? Why? We got to get a t-shirt that says, why Sammy? Why? He said Sammy Uso.
So yeah, that was the thing. I was like, let me go back and watch this, and let's see how because it's so many chapters and pages to this Bloodline story. So
we're gonna dig into it.
Yeah, so I had to go back and watch that today.
So you looking for callbacks, weren't you?
Yeah, man.
He was.
We've launched many investigations here at the Rest of Realm, so I'm not surprised that he's like, let's go back to where it all started. But brother Hugh, what did you watch?
Tag team wrestling. Had to get ready for the show last night, but like I said, I'm watching the Hell in a Cell match now. I went back and I watched Clash of Champions from 2019, New Day versus the Revival. But before I get to them, the New Day versus
I see what I did there.
Back when they were relevant.
Right. Before I got to that match, I forgot who started that show off.
I'm intrigued.
You saw what I did there?
Yes, I did. That was clever. You're on fire right now.
The Dirty Dogs, they won the Raw Tag Team titles.
Had to be Dolph Ziggler. If there's gonna be a way to get Dolph Ziggler on Kane on any show,
there it is.
Brother, you're gonna find a way.
Yep.
There it is. Yep. But 2 good tag team title matches. I highly enjoyed the Revival versus the New Day. Revival, they dropped the ball on them. WWE did for sure.
Vince.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm glad they're doing this thing now. FTR. What's wrong, Brian?
You see his face when you said that, brother? He doesn't like him.
No.
That's that face he made.
No, real talk. Back up. I want to say this might have been the end of the Hulu era, or maybe it was the network era. I remember when I first saw them.
Yeah.
And like everybody else, Tully and Arn. And it was really the quick tags.
No flips, just fist.
Yeah, and it made so much sense. Like, stay fresh, keep your opponent off base. And you know how we back in the day, you playing the video game, and if you team with your you know, in my case, God brother, y'all might team with your brother. Yo, tag me in, yo, it's my turn, tag me in. That's what that's the kind of vibes they gave.
Right.
Except they was on the same page. So you know, I think them leaving caused them to get a better personality.
Absolutely.
But I think it was, you know, I agree the ball was definitely dropped. But I think, I mean, we know tag team wrestling in general was dropped. And, you know, now having y'all boys, the Motor City Machine Guns, as much as
Brandon's boys. Don't say y'all boys. I was never, I'm on the record. I've never been a Motor City Machine Guns fan. And see how small they are in the ring, but we're not going to downplay that. We got to get into that too. It all intertwines.
Raise your fist, man. Raise your fist.
this is like, in all fairness, you know, they just not for me. I get it. Like, to me, I like old Chris Sabian when it was special. No, that was Petey Williams. It was special to do a Canadian Destroyer.
Yeah,
you know, it's like, all right, they just another tag team, but you know, good luck for them. But that was the thing. Like now,
you can't duck that. We're going to talk about that later. You know that, right?
Right. It's just another tag team. Good for them.
Yeah, I mean, no. What I mean is, it shows that WWE is like caring about tag team wrestling.
Tag team, yeah.
Before it was just okay, you know, go ahead and do it. I think now it's like, all right, look, we know we're not expecting y'all to go out there and make the Good Morning America round. Just go out there and wrestle.
And do your thing in the ring.
Why are you not a fan of them, brother guy, in 2023?
Oh, so yeah. So, but this, I think, like I said, I can't wait to. We're gonna get into that because they play, as crazy as it sounds. You know, if you want to get somebody over, just put them involved with the Bloodline. They have a place in the chapter of this famous soap opera that we are going to, no pun intended, Brad H, break down. Let me tell you what. You guys ready?
Break it down.
I watched. No, this is your show. Indulge. I watched
in the second.
Let's take us back to them SLF days, bro.
I watched the pre-show for TNA's Bound for Glory, and I watched one of my all-time favorites get inducted in TNA's Hall of Fame, and Rhino.
Yes, sir.
Such a special moment. Well respected, well loved by his peers, and well deserved. So.
You heard about the AJ Styles stuff that he had to clear up?
Yeah.
You said who?
AJ Styles.
What you mean?
All right, so the rumor was that WWE told that WWE said no, he couldn't get inducted.
Oh yeah, I did hear that. They wouldn't let him be inducted this year.
Yeah, and he said nope. He said it wasn't a WWE decision, it was an AJ Styles decision because he didn't want to get inducted as an active wrestler.
Oh, okay. All right,
so
fair enough.
I don't know if I told y'all we interviewed him during WrestleMania week, and one of the questions that Dave asked him was, by him being a gamer, what would be like if y'all familiar with showcase mode? It's always like basically a love letter to a wrestler's career. Yeah. So it's like, which versions of AJ Styles would you have on there? And I believe he said
that's a great question, by the way.
It is.
Oh, okay. Shout out. Okay. We can't say it out loud, but hold on. we all know where that idea came from. His name is Hollywood. There you go. We can't say it. We're not like you don't need no more heat than you already got. Go ahead.
That's what producers do, you know. But you know, no, but so what it was is he brought up the fact that it would be TNA, the TNA era. I want to say he said either Ring of Honor. Oh no, he probably said New Japan. But he probably intertwined it. And then the beatdown John Cena, I think. And then I think the version right before this one. Or maybe it's championship, more so it's championship run.
I was saying, what version was that?
I forgot. I mean, that was back in April.
He was a heel, wasn't he?
When he was a champion?
You said the version right before this one. Like you remember he was a heel before he came back.
Yeah, like with the OC, that's what it was. The OC.
Okay. Kind of heelish OC.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. You know AJ Styles can do no wrong in my eyes, right? You guys know that. Of course, you guys know that.
The best thing about what I loved about him, right?
Yeah.
Him and LA Knight, because he made you care about a feud with LA Knight. If you go back to WrestleMania, that day, that morning, I'm standing there waiting to talk to Carmelo Hayes.
Right.
And you know how when you in a we from Baltimore, you know when you somewhere and all of a sudden you hear something boom, 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 boom.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, I thought media people had got into it.
Wow.
That's how like real it was.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, yo, because you know it's a lot of like I'm in line, this, that, and the other. So all of a sudden you see the whole room run. You know who didn't run? Because I'm second to talk to Melo. I'm not losing my spot.
Not losing my spot.
Right.
Yeah, so sure enough, you know, and a lot of people, y'all seen the footage, but it was like one of those things where you looking at it, you're like, wait a minute, like, oh snap, they really getting this feud over. Because you always think like, yo, if these two people in a feud and they walk past each other, won't they do something? Like, you know, you think from a wrestling child perspective.
Sure.
Yeah.
Realistically,
right.
like it should be on site.
Yeah, and that was the best part about that feud. It was definitely one of those, and it was like, so by the time WrestleMania gets here a couple days later, I think they was on the Sunday show.
Yeah,
it was like, oh yeah, we can't wait for this and sure enough, no interest Shabazz because it was like it didn't have a lot of heat in the blood, or a lot of, as we say, CCs in the blood. Could be a blood feud,
right?
But they took what they was given, and that just goes to show you, you know, I'm credit more to AJ Styles just because he been doing this longer. He been doing this all over the world. It's the reason why he's one of the greatest of all time.
I mean, well, god dang, you're gonna talk about AJ Styles like that.
I'm with it.
Live on the air in this moment. Thank you, Brian H. It's like hearing you talk about AJ Styles that much. It was so refreshing. It like don't forget. Remember, LA Knight pulled up to AJ Styles' crib and they used the police dash camera footage right in front of his house in Georgia. That was fun.
You know, in LA Knight, it's the way he dressed, yo.
Very smug, very tight jeans.
Because he wear too many colors. He need to go to Brother Hugh. He need to pay Brother Hugh a consultant fee.
Okay, wait, we talking money now,
brother. A lot of money.
I'm with it.
And let Brother Hugh get him right.
What would you now? This is a sidetrack, but god dang, this is part of I love when the show goes like
Brother
this.
Hugh, especially Homecoming Brother Hugh, which you got your hat like right there. Like you left your hat over here after we did the show.
Oh, for real? I was looking for that bad boy.
Yeah, but it's a reason. It's a reason why Brother Hugh is in the yard.
Styling and profiling.
He's stupid.
So somebody wanted to play the Kimbe Mutombo that day.
Styling and profiling.
They should say, Hugh! That's what they should say.
Blocking. Those are like the Kimbe Mutombo. God rest beautiful blocking shot soul. Oh, don't get me fired up again, man. You guys about to get me angry again, but Brother Hugh, how would you restyle LA Knight? Because Brian H is waiting. He threw me off. He's like, wait a minute, you with too many colors. So first of all, time out. Just flag on the play. Brian H, how would you like this? Because you know I'm a gear guy. You know, if I love wrestlers. No disrespect to you, Brother Hugh, but I didn't see many Dolph Ziggler matches. I ain't watched because I said Brian ain't feeling the pants. I ain't watching it. You feel me? Right. I will only watch the matches with the right fits. That's no disrespect to nobody. Like, you could be one of my favorites. I still don't watch nothing with Shawn Michaels in that transition gear. He came back in because he found Jesus. We know you love the Lord, Shawn. Just put your old trunks back on. You don't got to do all that. What would you rather see him wear rather than, because you saying he wearing too many colors? What would you rather see Brian H? And
it's
and
not
then
the gear.
It's not his like
promo.
His promo gear. What would you rather see him wear? And Brother Hugh, how would you restyle him?
I just want to see him be like, if you pick a color, bro, like he'll have like a leather vest and then a patterned shirt. And then
okay.
What are you doing? Like when he go out there, you know, the whole thing. I didn't like what happened on SmackDown. I get it, whatever. But I mean, we get the triple threat match, but him being a referee, it's just like he was doing too much. Wearing the
belt. He was wearing the belt. You don't say that about the final boss though, Brian H. And obviously he be wearing.
He got to get himself over though.
Right.
I mean, you got the bright colors. You got the bright colors, like you said. All of the extra designs, the LAs, and all that extra stuff. It's to get himself over.
With the leather vest, though.
With the leather vest, bro. That's his style.
And then you ask Brother Hugh. You remember Brother Hugh in around 2010, 2011? He was out, bro.
But see, brother Hugh didn't mix them. He didn't wear
didn't.
like 6
Oh,
different
okay.
patterns.
Right.
He made it work. You're like, look, trust me. Man, this brother, we didn't hit the streets of East Baltimore and West
Yeah.
Baltimore, even DC. You know,
And the-
I know how this brother
and
dressed.
don't forget South Beach.
Oh yeah, right.
Right. You know, I know how
Don't
this
forget
brother
South Beach.
this brother can dress. That's why I was like, man, he need brother Hugh to style him.
Okay. Brother Hugh, would you be down for that?
I'll be down for it. Yes, of course.
LA Knight, give my brother a phone call. He's got some style tips for you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Fellow Melander, looking out for you, brother. Let's go.
That's what good brothers do. But
see
you know what
what-
good brothers? Go ahead. What'd you say, Brian?
Y'all see what he did to Lilian Garcia?
No, what he
I
did?
didn't want to watch it. I was like, bro, I hope he didn't embarrass this woman. She just got back there, Hall of Famer. I was like, I'm not watching this. LA Knight is like a firecracker on the mic.
Who are you, bro? Like, he tried to be respectful, but all right.
Hold up, I missed it. What happened?
All
I
right.
missed it.
It's a dark match. He comes
Okay.
out there. She must have said, coming from whatever, LA Knight. And then he goes, basically, let me tell you how to say the name. LA Knight. Yeah. So he wanted her to pause.
Uh-huh.
And my issue is, bro, you did that in front of the crowd. That's literally a conversation backstage. Yeah,
Right. That's why I didn't want to watch it. That's exactly why I didn't want to watch it.
Right.
That's how it came off. It came off as disrespectful.
Bro.
Like he was trying to show up a little bit.
Yeah, when you correct somebody, being somebody who play drums, right?
Uh-huh.
And if I play a song too fast, right? If you sitting up there, you sing, you say, hold on, drummer, you doing a good job. Can you slow down just a little bit? I don't need to go to.
I just got mad as you did that.
It's trust me, this didn't happen to me on more than one occasion. I didn't even have people get nasty with it. Like, hold on now you need to slow down or you need to listen to the timing because they get off. Like to the point, my grandma was ready to fight. God rest her soul. She was like,
and they think you trying to outshow them.
And this was, I was like 2 years in, the whole church turned on this lady. Like my mother was like, hold on, everybody calm down. It's my child. My father, now when she did that, he pulled his unplugged his guitar, walked right out. I was like, oh, okay. So that means I go out too.
Big H wasn't with none of that.
Yeah, so it was a little trigger. I'm like, bro, like you gonna say, oh, this is how you say introduce me?
That's
like,
why I didn't watch it.
Yeah, like
I felt like that's what it was going to be. Like, oh, here you go. Like, why would you do that, bro? Like, I know you ain't. I know you was working the gimmick and all, but don't do that.
You a baby face.
Yeah, he's trying to find a way to stay relevant and cool. Like, trying to be.
That's
hip and I don't follow any rules and I don't shake people's hands. Yeah, I don't know.
We don't care about you. Yeah,
but at the end of the day, do we think that LA Knight owes Lilian Garcia an apology? Apologize, LA Knight. See, he's in agreement with us. He thinks he owes her an apology as well. Now, sorry. With that being said, that was a lot that happened this week, right? And there's plenty for us to get into.
Wait a minute, hold on. I just watched it. It doesn't come across as disrespectful to me.
But see, you like that kind of stuff, Brother Hugh. You think that stuff is funny.
That's who he is, though.
Oh boy, here we go. Live debate. Now we got to talk about it.
But like that's his character. He's that type of guy. He's kind of like a Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was another guy that could do that. Like he could come out, pull a card, but do it in a joking way. I didn't see it as if like, yes,
LA Knight to Stone.
Oh, was it fun though? Was it fun? See, look, you pause it now.
No, because I didn't want to play it online. I mean on live, live or whatnot. But it looks like it's fun.
Okay, I didn't take it. It was. I took it as.
It looked like it was kind-hearted. Like it was just,
I took it as kind-hearted correction. Don't do that again. All right. Yeah. That's what I took it.
I didn't get that.
Okay.
I didn't get that, but I'll go back and rewatch it again with the volume up, and I'm like, all right, cool.
Like he wasn't yelling or being disrespectful, but he was
working the gimmick.
Yeah.
It was to me just like, bro, that's to me. She coming in, probably. I mean, I don't think
already nervous.
Yeah, It's been a while. She getting the dust off. Samantha Irvin was incredible for a job that she didn't like doing.
That's
Now you
crazy,
sound
right?
now you don't like it. She said that.
Oh,
You
no,
don't like it.
I'm not mad at. You know what I'm mad about? Not
What's that?
mad, but I wish she wouldn't do is respond to comments.
They
Like I didn't
told
need
her to stop doing that though.
Yeah, like I didn't need to know that. Like she's responding to all these trolls and everything, and
No, don't give them
like,
no life.
don't tell people you reason why you left all that. That's just the way I feel. Like you're above them.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I would have ran with what Lilian said, because when Lilian left, she was like, first of all, Ricochet already kind of debunked, like, no, she don't worry, she's not coming to AEW to be a ring announcer. But then when Lilian Garcia had her video, she was like, oh my gosh, I'm back after 8 years. Sam, you're such an amazing talent. It's crazy what you've been able to do in such a short time. Congratulations with your music career. And I was like, oh, she just kind of told on her.
Right.
Maybe off to do, because she has mentioned before about wanting to do other projects, but not really getting a chance to do so. So I was like, maybe that's what it about, but then like you said, this constant responding to the internet trolls who looking for answers instead of be like, but she's one of us though. She's too engaged in the community. So that's the
That's
you
it.
know what I mean?
That's it. I would
You say,
speculate.
oh yeah, she's one of us. She's always locked into what's going on. So but we
might be getting a new champion tonight, y'all.
I got it on, bro. So if I flip out, it's top of the 8th. 7-6. Come on.
I ain't gonna lie.
Hold up, they came back?
Yeah, bro.
Because when I was watching, it was like 5-0.
The 5th inning, Aaron Judge had an error. As Bobby Heenan would say in at WrestleMania 9, he got himself a little boo-boo.
Yeah, real bad. He gonna have to stay on his record if he don't get them out the postseason. But I ain't here to talk about Brian Edge's favorite player. I'm here to engage.
That was for one season. It's Gunner
for one season.
Yeah, that was 2022.
Brothers, speaking of what's going on since 2022, we got to get this figured out. We are here to talk about this week's episode of the Wrestling podcast. The meat and potatoes is this whole freaking Bloodline soap opera has returned. I was under the impression it was done at WrestleMania. I thought the best of it was over. Paul Heyman made a comment, and we have trickled ourselves back here. And I said, oh my goodness, the soap opera is back as the Bloodline turn has returned. And we are going to talk about it from start to finish and where this is going to go. Because like I said, we missed it last week, so we got some stuff to talk about, good brothers. You guys ready? Let's get into this.
You put the old church organ on that bad boy.
See that? That was the dramatic, the dramatic 1970s soap opera.
Right.
Where do you guys want to start? Let's start here.
What a moment.
I know, right?
Last couple of weeks, we've talked about what's been going on with the Bloodline. Roman is a face now. Probably the biggest face in the company. I don't know how that's going to work for Cody Rhodes. Jimmy Uso returns. We talked about that, right?
Yep.
You look at Brian cheesing, Hugh. Look at him. He's as soon as I say, he's like, "Yep." He's ear to ear right now, bro.
Yep.
We talking about Willis?
See, yeah, we talking about your Bloodline.
He's hot tonight.
So he comes back. They have a moment, but that's as far as we're going to get because Yeet has made it clear, I don't need y'all. I'm not getting involved. I'm not going to do nothing. But something happens. Jimmy shows up on Raw. Can I talk? He apologizes. I feel you. Let's figure this out. We come to a conclusion about one of the main things that the Bloodline has been saying to us from the beginning was that blood will always be thicker than championship belts. I don't know. I just made that up. But family over everything, right? Family will always be family. Wrestling will always be wrestling. Business will always be business, but we will always be family. And this is the moment that we're seeing right now on the screen where Jimmy and Jey kind of hash this out. They say no things aren't perfect. No things aren't the way you want to be. But Jey made it very clear. Above everything, I'm always be your twin. Right? So we have that moment. That's on Raw, SmackDown, whatever the case may be. So we trickle back and we say, okay, cool. Clearly the Bloodline needs some help. We got this new Bloodline, and we got Jimmy and we got Roman. And they're teasing the idea that Jay's got a Joe Magno. But right now, Jay doesn't have a reason. But then all of a sudden, Jay has a change of heart. And he has a reason to all of a sudden approach his brother Solo. So he shows up on SmackDown.
That goddamn Philly.
Philly's not good for the bloodline. Sorry about that. He shows up on SmackDown to approach his younger brother Solo and his bloodline. And he tells him, listen, man, I'm not here for no issues. I'm doing my own thing, but we are family. And this is dividing the family apart. They've had a lot of deaths in the family. The patriarchs have, Offensika have gone on. And they're like, bro, we having issues right now. This is not what we need. This is causing a rift in our family. And Solo made it very clear. Solo is in agreement, and he shows the world that he is not the heel that we're trying to perceive him to be. Because he goes, wait a minute, I'm not here to divide the family either. So now we don't know who the victim is. He's like, no, I'm here to unite the family. All you have to do is acknowledge me. I am the rightful heir. So Jay takes exception to it and said, look, man, figure this out. Do what you got to do. But I know one thing. It wasn't no reason for you to go get our cousins, the Tongans, that we don't bang with like that because they dangerous. That's why they've been in Japan. Ain't nobody tell you to go get Jacob from the streets and running Independence the way he is because he's dangerous, right? There's a reason we had who we had, and it worked the way it works. And I'm gonna tell you another thing. If your right hand man keep looking at me the way he do, I'm gonna drop him like next Tuesday. So I was shocked. I said, wait a minute, Jay, why are you approaching it? So then we follow up the following Monday. What are we at? Solo decided to pay his brother a visit because there's a rematch between Braun Breaker and Jey Uso for the Intercontinental Championship, right? And Solo shows up with Jacob, shows up with Wheels of Destiny in support of Jay. Here's man, I'm here to help you win. I'm on your side.
2K with the tickets and everything.
He had 2 tickets. He said, one for me, one for him. Come on, man. Jay said, nah, I told you it ain't like that. I don't need your help. Going back to where you was at. But see, Jaden already stuck his nose back into family business, but family is family. Okay. One thing leads to another. Solo says, bro, you ain't listening. Get down and lay down on some straight state property type stuff. Get down and lay down. That's how he carrying it. He don't care. Long story short, Braun Breaker is a 2-time WWE Intercontinental Champion. So main event Jey Uso just lost in the main event. So following up on SmackDown, we got some retaliation. The Guerrillas of Death have a match. Motor City Machine Guns win the tag team tournament, become #1 contenders, call them out. Long story short, Jey Uso says, I'm getting my retribution. Y'all cost me my title, I'm gonna cost you y'all's. Motor City Machine Gun makes it, I don't know what you call it, but they're in a space now where they are freaking WWE tag team champions all of a sudden. We'll get into that in a minute. Right. But Jay had to make sure he got his retribution. So then here we come to Monday, where Jimmy comes and says, man, I appreciate what you did for me, blah, blah, blah. We may not be on the same page, but you got to talk to Roman because we can't do this without you. We got to figure this out. So an old face, Sami Uso pops up, just like you said, Brian H. He pops up, he approaches Jay and leads us to this situation right here. Here we are. So at the end of the night, we first saw Sami Zayn approach Jay. He wasn't too keen on Jimmy. He had a problem with it. He said, you just gonna go back to this? You gonna go back to this? All the stuff he made you do? Blah, 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 blah. Jay felt some type of way about it. He said, first of all, he said, man, you sound like you were Solo. He said, no, I'm not with nobody. And you don't got to be with nobody either. Do your own thing. You've been doing good on your own. Blah, blah, blah. He said, look, man, you don't understand because you're not family. You know, a little mean, but it was the truth.
Put him right in this place.
The bloodline does not play about their family. There's a historical significance to their family dynamic. Excuse me. So Jimmy goes, look, man, I get it. Let me smooth things over with Sami. Let me just tolerate him. So in the midst of looking for Sami Zayn, we have this scene right here. Jey Uso goes, man, shh. Look, man, that's what I'm telling you. And we have this. Sami Zayn fraternizing with Solo Sikoa outside the parking lot on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Why, Sami? Why? Brothers, I just unpacked like 2 weeks of this stuff, of this freaking soap opera.
Yep.
How in the world did we get back to this point? Because guess what? Now that we've had all that, and Jimmy looked at him and said, look, man, I told you, if we're going to do this, bro, it's got to be me, you, and Roman, and that's it. And Jay said, dang, like he had a realization. It leads us to this. At Crown Jewel, Saturday, November 2nd, 1 p.m. Eastern time. We're getting it. We're getting this Bloodline Civil War jumping off. This is chapter 1 of this particular. This is the first page of this chapter of this freaking book, this soap opera.
This part. Yeah.
Like, how do we get back to this point? Let's just start. There's a ton to get into. There's so many details. Brian H., you are a resident Bloodline member. And you know what, brother? You've acknowledged Roman too.
Mm-hmm.
Greatest of all
How
time.
in the world did this become the hottest storyline in wrestling all over again when we thought the best of it was already done?
Well, you said something years ago. You said when Roman loses that title, he's going to be a menace trying to get that belt back.
That's what I assumed.
And technically he is, but it's a different way because the family dynamics is in the way. Solo, who he said was the tribal heir, started calling him out, started being very disrespectful, like talking about Roman Reigns like Roman didn't do so many great things for him, telling like, oh, you gonna be, if he come back, he gonna acknowledge me too, all of that. So now you sit back, Roman had to take care of him, and then but he wouldn't go away. So, and then he got all his goons, and his goons ain't no joke. And I said this on Break It Down with Brian H., which y'all can check out. They all put over all of Solo's goons, right? Everybody like to say, "Oh, that's a bootleg Bloodline," but it's really not, because the fact that
What? Wait a minute. So are you acknowledging the new Bloodline? What are you saying right now?
what
You
I'm
hearing, brother
saying
Q?
is,
I hear. I'm
what
just
I'm
waiting.
saying, basically, they showing how dangerous the tongue is going to be.
Mm,
Because everybody, think about all the factions that would come after Roman.
right.
At the end of the day, Roman ended that show on top. You
Facts.
go back, you look at Drew McIntyre when he had the chair over top of him. You look at Finn Balor, Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. The
Ain't too
beast.
many people leave Roman on his back or stomach before the show is over. The tongue is dead. So they telling us they dangerous. We know, and they showing us Jacob is dangerous. So that's how we got back here, because this is a challenge. This is a threat. And it has to be a mighty threat to bring back Jey Uso. For Jey to say, all right, y'all got my attention now. Okay. You know what? Maybe we do need to get back with the tribal chief. So at the attempt of not spoiling, because SmackDown was taped and footage
It's out
leaked.
there. It's out
Is
there.
out there, but he had to think about it, and that's how he got the, this is how we ended up back here. Now, the interesting question is, which of the three, because, you got to bring in a fourth, right?
Do you? That's the $1 million question. You tell me, Brian H., do you have to bring in the fourth? It's because they never officially made any words about it. It's just been like, hey, this just popped up. And I'm like, okay, I see all 4 Bloodline members on one side, and I see OG Bloodline on the other side. What type of shenanigans do we got cooking right now? What do you see? How does this play out, Brian H.?
Well, I think somebody else is coming. Not sure who, just because we know that family just continues. But I'm really seeing
Understatement.
Right.
Sami Zayn first being, I think he gonna roll with Solo for a little bit.
No, okay.
So Solo posted
I gotta take
my
notes.
dog. He posted Instagram, my dog, and the fact that they was having a conversation. Because truth be told, The same way he didn't want to talk to Jimmy, he shouldn't have wanted to talk to Solo, because Solo was the one when Roman, I went back and watched the Rumble. Roman, he was like, "Get him, kill him," because Roman was hurt. He hurt the tribal chief. The tribal chief wanted to make sure he had everything. And that's why he looked at his wife and said, "Y'all had it all, and you gave it up for Kevin Owens, the man who turns on you umpteen times."
He kind of does.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but if Sammy was even listening to Solo, like he wanted to go square up with Jimmy, but he was listening to Solo because they had a special connection.
Well,
Remember,
that's when wasn't Jimmy the first one to strike after he?
Jimmy was the first one to strike. It was kind of like, see, it's weird because Jimmy was the first one to like embrace him,
right?
And then, but when it was time, Jimmy was the first one to strike.
Exactly, but he did it without Roman's approval. Solo
Sammy?
did it. So no, Jimmy just did it off rip. As soon as that happened, Jimmy hit him straight up.
Yeah, he was defending
on
Roman.
some family stuff, right?
Mhm.
But Solo didn't he didn't strike until Roman told him to go and do it, right?
Yeah, when Roman realized what was happening.
Right. So that's in that aspect, it could be different. He could be looking at it as if like, dang, you was really my homie. Like you was really my brother. But for you to go ahead and just strike right off the top like that without even asking questions or whatever, that's why I'm stepping to you like this. As opposed to Solo was just following orders.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So maybe that's how they're going to flip it. I don't know.
That's why I think right, exactly what
like
you said.
Like you said, yeah.
That's why I think we've been booking this, right? Everybody's been booking.
Yes, we have.
and everybody thinks, okay, this is how it's gonna happen. Solo gotta do this, and then they're gonna bring in Sammy. We're gonna get OG Bloodline. Wouldn't it be the best swerve
Too
if
easy,
Sammy
bro.
turned heel and he joined with Solo?
He looked like he's turning heel. Wow, Sammy, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Brother Hugh, how do we get here, brother? How do we get here? Like, what I say it, and I'll say it again over and over again. I thought we got the best of it already at WrestleMania. I said it's probably not gonna get hotter than this. It'll be good, but it won't be this dramatic. But yet we're here again. Like you added, we knew they were going to bring in relatives. They brought in more relatives. We've been, as Brian says, we've been quietly booking how this is supposed to turn out, and the stuff we've been coming up with has been pretty easy. But I'm sitting there watching this now, like, yo, you've got to be kidding me. How do we get back to this point where, and this is where we need your expertise, brother, here, is because you're on Championship Culture every week, and you guys handle these type of conversations with these shows. You say, what's more important at times? Is the superstar more important than the championship? Is the championship more important than the storyline? And in this situation, that's a conversation we have to have with Jey Uso, because it seems like there was a lot of uproar when Jey Uso didn't win the IC title or didn't have a singles championship. And then he had it for a short reign. But when he lost it, it didn't seem like people were that up in arms about it, because he was like, well, Braun Breaker probably could use another run at it. But no offense, but this situation is much more bigger than him just having this title run right now. Because it's like it now adds a wrinkle to this story. Was like, oh crap, they got all the players back in the fold. This is heating up again. Like, how do we get back to this freaking point? It Jey Uso being a part of the Bloodline, which is probably the hottest storyline in professional wrestling history, the biggest soap opera, versus him, still having the IC title and having random matches and stuff like that. Like, what's going on? How did this get as popular as is, and where the heck is this going? You're on the hot seat, buddy.
Oh my gosh, that's loaded.
That's right. Come on, let it rip.
But we got here for right off top. We got here because of one guy, and it started 3-4 years ago. Roman Reigns. Literally, it started with him. The rise, the fall, now the comeback, right? And they always say the money is made when you're chasing the title.
Chase, yep.
The chase, man. That's it. So now we're going back and we're chasing this story of Roman Reigns chasing the title. But of course, the first checkpoint that he has to get through is the Bloodline.
Right.
Now the fact that
the family.
Right. The fact that Jey Uso is thrown in the mix now, it makes complete sense because he's went out and he's became an uber babyface now. Probably, arguably, but second, possibly. On
Probably got to be
level.
number 3 between Cody and Roman.
Hey, I mean, Cody and Jey kind of.
Wait a minute.
Right now, I don't know.
You agree with this, Brian H?
Cody kind of.
You're Bloodline guy. I don't know why I asked you. Go ahead, brother.
Cody kind of falling off.
Y'all disrespecting my dude. I gotta hear this.
Hey, bro. But I'm just saying, like who's selling T-shirts? Who's selling merch? Who's in the spotlight? I know Cody's there. Shows? I know Cody's there, but look at Jey.
Does Cody Rhodes and Gunther, does their matchup take a backseat to this Bloodline storyline?
Absolutely. Who cares about that?
You let me finish my sentence. He said absolutely.
Who cares?
I'm not making a good cause for us, a good argument. Man. Go ahead, continue. It was getting good.
They're gonna fight for that big belt. You know, come on,
and nobody's gonna be worried about it. Like I was at first too, until they said the OG Bloodline versus. I said, wait a minute.
Yes. But the fact that Jey is back now and you have developed individual superstars, the OG Bloodline, they're not one cohesive unit now. You know, they will be, but they're all individual superstars now. That are established, and they can go out there and just do what they do as individuals.
Yep.
Right.
And represent their own brands as individuals, and they can go out there and they can dominate like they used to. So I'm eager to see like the chemistry between those three.
They're brothers. That's gonna be like riding a bike.
I mean, the Usos, yes, but you still got to remember the backstories from the previous 2-3 years that they had to go through.
Ooh, the callback.
Look at Jey. Jey been through hell. Sammy reminded him of that. And I remember I told you about a couple weeks ago when I went back and watched that whole playlist again. Jey went through hell with Roman. So I don't expect him to just come back and be like, oh, hey, what's up? You know, cuz, you know, we good? Whatever. No.
Well, he mentioned that. Remember, he told when he smoothed things over with Jim, he said, look, man, when we do it again this time, we not the cronies no more. We not the goons. Like they can tell us apart now. You, Jimmy, I'm main event Jey. That's how we got to do this.
Exactly.
Because he talking to his brother like, yo, we can do it. We don't need Roman. And Jimmy's like, look, bro, I hear you, but let me talk some sense into you. These guys ain't no joke. And Solo was tripping.
Facts.
So they mentioned what you talked about, brother Hugh. Like, so it's not like what you're saying ain't true. Because they said it. He said it.
They said it.
We not the same as we used to be. When we go and do it this time, it's going to be 10 times.
33. Right. No more. You know, just chilling under Roman. You know, everybody has equal responsibility in this thing now, and we all have what's it called? Oh, I'm just watching AJ Styles. He just won the X Division title.
Can't go wrong with that. I've been watching a lot of TNA too, so I'm with you, brother.
Chris Sabin versus and Petey Williams in a triple threat. But that was a good match. But overall, like I think the main character, one of the major characters, of course, is going to be Jey right now. We got to see how far he's going to take this. Brandon brought it to my attention a long time ago. We had this discussion. He was like, well, Jey might be the critical piece in this whole Bloodline situation.
I've heard him say that.
He might end up being possibly the main piece. You know what I'm saying? The biggest. He might end up being the bigger star to come out of the Bloodline saga.
Okay.
If that kind of makes sense. What if they flip it and say, look, somehow he ends up being the tribal chief? You see what I'm saying?
It only makes sense because he was the original heir. Remember?
Yeah, exactly. I brought that up a long time ago too. No, people kind of forget about that.
Yeah,
they just remember Solo being deemed the heir. Jey was there before all that.
No, he was the right hand man.
They alluded to it before though. I do remember seeing that.
You remember they talked about that?
Yeah,
because Jimmy got jealous. Remember, Jimmy thought he was going to be the right hand man and then the heir to the tribal chief because he what do you call it? You know, because he was the oldest. He's like, I'm the oldest. I'm 6 minutes older, so you know, I'm technically the older brother. Remember, and that's what everybody thought it was going to be a bit of a rift between those two because Jey was kind of like blowing up.
Yeah.
So So here's $1 million question. Here we
what's up?
are. So we got ourselves in a space where we don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you, brother. I don't know where I'm going to turn with this whole situation. I have no idea what's going on. Here's some basic, like, ground level things that I can just put out there. There's got to be a fourth person to make this matchup even. There's got to be something that's going on. I don't know who that person is, and I don't know how you make it make sense. It's because that Penguin Paul Heyman was telling the truth when he said, "What ending are we getting when it comes to the Bloodline story?" And he said, "Bottom third." I said, this bastard was telling the truth the whole time. You get that? Paul Heyman telling the truth, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, cool. It was easy to assume, oh, go get Sammy Uso. Now, the original Bloodline was Sammy. We watched 5. I'm not counting Roman. I'm going to say at least 4 superstars elevate just from being associated with the Bloodline, right? Jimmy Uso. I think Jimmy Uso is coming to us. I don't care what nobody says. Jimmy Uso is coming to us. He has a look. He has a look to him. I love his music. He has, like, I feel like you know who Jimmy Uso is. Jey Uso. Need I say anything else? Just ridiculous. Solo Sikoa, the quiet one. He didn't use words before. He has become a full-blown character. He's been main. He got the rub from John Cena.
Break him,
bro. he got the rub from John Cena. He ain't been the same since.
Facts.
You know what I mean? He is that thing about it. Solo was a side guy. He was number 4 in the 4-man group.
He was.
You might be able to call him 5 if you consider Paul Heyman part as his character as a focal point of the group, right?
Right.
And look at him. He is at the center of all this drama right now. And then you have Sami Zayn. We saw how that whole Mick Foley sympathy factor kicked in. You know what I mean? His storyline kind of gave birth to all this stuff. So it's like, yo, I never thought in a million years that we will be back here spending the entire show talking about why the heck this drama has us perplexed, confused, not knowing what's going to happen next. We're going to talk about Crown Jewel later on this evening. Like, we're going to finish off the show with that. Hopefully we shouldn't even be here too long, to be honest with you. But we got to figure this out. First of all, brother, you're not ducking. Let's go back to you real quick. What's more important? Jey Uso carrying that championship, come on, championship culture, or Jey Uso being a part of this Bloodline storyline? I need an official word. Hold on, let me put them on the big screen. I want the world to hear this. So that way you have to explain yourself to your championship culture audience when you say what you're about to say.
Well, we always talk about how the champion actually makes the championship, right? Actually makes the title. Nah, in this case, Jey needs to be a part of the biggest storyline.
Tell us why.
Because that's the main event. He's main event, right?
Oh, there you go.
That's is that simple.
That's a bar.
He's main event status. Put him in the biggest storyline that's going on right now in wrestling, not just WWE, in wrestling, right? That's where he belongs. And an event like one good thing about it is that Braun Breaker gets that second run with the title.
That's why I'm okay with it too.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good. Jey did his thing. He came out there. He got his title win. Now he's solidified as that individual star. He finally got over that hurdle. Right. Now he's elevated. Now he's ready for the WHC. Right. So let's go. Put him in the Bloodline storyline again. Let Braun Breaker do what he do with the IC title. He's going to go out there. He's going to do great. He's going to do awesome with that title. And he's just getting ready for the Netflix era. That's all. That's what I'm hearing for him. Braun Breaker. Yeah. He's just waiting.
He's about to be unhinged.
Yeah. For sure.
Are they going to be able to say cuss words on Raw now?
I guess so.
Yeah, probably.
The Rock's going to go crazy.
Oh yes, he is.
Not to mention we didn't bring him up. We didn't. Okay, Brian, it's your turn. You're in a hot seat because you Bloodline guys. You guys raise your ones. Brian H. We're getting
and a little bit of.
We're getting the Crown Jewel. There it is. Look, he got to sit there and play it. They got to play his Bloodline theme music. The crazy part is you won this bold a couple years ago. I mean, a few weeks ago. Jey Uso joins the Bloodline. All of a sudden, you seem real redeemed and real strong. All of a sudden,
no.
Hey, that's crazy.
I'm just saying he coming alive a little bit. Like he wasn't this excited before.
I mean, I was excited. You know, I knew Jey. What did Paul Heyman say? But what about Jey? He gonna do what he always do. Gonna come home.
Fall in line, right?
Fall in line.
You said it for the jump.
Yeet.
Wow. like, how do you add more money to the bloodline? It's ridiculous. They were count money before. So it seems to me, we talked about it earlier, that there's this revision of the tag team division in WWE. Like, you're seeing a reset button. Like I said, they're taking the titles out of storylines and putting them back on like tag teams again. You see, we got the Judgment Day. They have a match with the War Raiders. The War Raiders kind of getting going again, which is good to see.
Yep.
Excuse me. And then you have the Motor City Machine Guns, pure tag team. They're going to go out there. They're going to put on quality tag match. They're going. Their thing is, which I love, because they're coming in as vets. Your favorite tag team's favorite tag team, and so we're seeing this shift, right? Like, okay, cool. Let's take these titles out of the storylines, and let's leave them in their proper respects to tag team wrestling, because we want to get this going. Do you guys think you guys want to see another Usos tag title run? Is that what's supposed to come from all this? What would you be okay with, Brian H? Now, we don't know how long this version of the bloodline is still going to be intact because of their popularity. Like, having them all in one space seems kind of stingy. You got to split them up a little bit. But would you be okay with seeing another Usos tag run now that there's more tag teams? There's a focus on the tag team divisions. We got beautiful new belts. We just talked about championship culture and who wore best with the previous tag titles, but these are championships that the Usos have never held. Is that something you'd be okay with seeing now that they're on the same page again?
1,000,000%. I mean, you think about just the possibilities. Like, to me, I always say the greatest tag team ever. Overcoming the Steiner brothers, in my opinion. Overcoming the Road Warriors, overcoming, Alpha and Sika. They are it.
Team 3D?
No.
Sorry. I said the wrong team.
So Bubba want to play on NXT.
I mean, you knew it was coming, bro.
Yeah, I know. But shout out to Devon, Kurt Franklin.
Testify.
Wow. GP, are you with me? What about you, brother Hugh? Would you be okay with another Usos tag title run?
Not right now, but eventually.
Okay.
It makes sense because, like you said, they didn't get those titles.
Yeah,
they need to get their hands on there.
These guys are individuals now, so you make them individuals to put them back together.
I mean, you can still make it work, like you said. The chemistry is going to be there. It makes sense. I feel like that's what people want to see anyway, or going to want to see.
Sure.
You can do it for a little while. They don't need to have like a dominant run like they did before. But I would love to see them with the titles, just because they're new titles and they need to get their hands on it.
Right. Okay.
I think
so.
It'd be interesting to see Saturday.
Okay. Talk about
coming out to their individual music.
They're coming out to individual music.
Yeah, like it's gonna be a little different, but it's gonna be good. But it's gonna be a little different, Dun, 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 dun. Ooh, so
God. Okay.
I love Jimmy's music. His music is underrated. They be hating on Jimmy's music.
They do.
Music, bro. I was born a king. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that joint is fire. I don't care what nobody say. I was like, bro, I like what they doing with Jimmy Uso. Right. So last question as we kind of move on, because we're gonna take a quick break and then we're gonna
2 more hours.
We're gonna come on. Bottom of the night.
I want to see a game 6, but
no, I knew you was gonna say that. It's always you. You want to see? I want them to win in Los Angeles.
Yes.
No.
Win at home. The championships are better won at home. Look, shout out to the New York Liberty. They won at home.
Win, get the checks, celebrate in New York, Gotham City, meet Batman, and go home.
That's it.
He swung for the fence. Get him out of there. Yaga.
Big slices, deli sandwiches.
Right. Thank you. Yeah, all the brisket and steak. They open till 3 a.m.
Absolutely.
So, who is going to help Jimmy, Jey, and Roman Reigns? Is because if Sammy is even sticking his nose in this business and aligning himself with Solo and Jacob and the Grills of Destiny, that's another body. You know what I mean? That's the
Mm.
fifth. I'm not saying he's a member, but if he's associating himself, that's a fifth body. And they got 3. They still outnumbered.
They are.
Where do we go from here? Who is left to join the bloodline? Brian H.
You gotta call the Rock.
Oh my
And not
gosh.
to mention the freaking Rock. The Rock is probably on their side too. Because I think a couple of weeks ago we came to the conclusions there. I was like, yo, I think they're working with the Rock because when the Rock came out there, they ran. They ain't want no smoke, and Solo's and all. Yeah, it's all a part of the plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So who-
that's true. But
so
what
who's-
if the Rock joins only to turn on Roman? Like
What
when
do you
he all right, we know Rock ain't getting in war games, but what if he, is a part of it? He help him out only to then, do whatever he do, and then he beat up Roman and he helped him. But what if he fools him and give him the okie doke?
But why though? Like why is that the direction to go, and where do we go from here if that's the case?
Because they never had a foregone conclusion on. They never broke up. They lost Roman lost. They won at WrestleMania. Then Roman lost the next day, but they never broke up. So he could be like, all right, you know what? Yeah, I was the last, because the Rock was the last one out after Undertaker took him out. He was the last line of defense. The Rock is the reason Roman lost the belt.
He definitely was the last line of defense.
Do we know that they didn't break up though?
We don't know.
You see what I'm saying? Because you got to remember in that match too. Night 1, Roman speared the Rock.
Yeah, that too.
Oh yeah.
And you don't know how he's going to take it. I got to go back to rewatch the match to see how it played out, but he might take it back as like, look, you intentionally speared me. Why would you do that?
Mm-hmm.
I won the match. I brought it home for you, and then you couldn't deliver the next night.
Yep.
Right? Even though it was still his fault, like you just said.
Here's where I'm so, first of all, this is the bloodline really rules the world. Like they took a break and they're back. Like how's that possible? They took a break and now they're back. Here's where I sit with this. Come on, Yankees, it's time to send y'all home. One more out. Here's where I'm thinking.
So it's about to be over.
Yeah, come on, it's done.
Ooh, one more strike. One more strike.
In this.
You sound like Triple H. I mean, Triple H.
End it now. Not Triple H.
Yankees fans looking sad.
Yeah,
end it now. They was up 5-0 now.
They were.
We about to have a black man
walk him down
as a black manager. There it is.
Gang.
Los Angeles Dodgers win the World Series.
No. MLB wins overall.
There you go.
Nah, because it would have been 7.
Nah, brother. Otani
Mookie Betts.
Otani gets a ring. That's all that matters.
It's not. Yeah, my man Shohei after signing that shit, that freaking what you call it?
Yeah,
my man's button. It's over. We're getting distracted because this is that we started this conversation.
We don't have. When's the last time we had a World Series crown while we were alive?
This is history.
It is.
Betts going crazy. World champions.
The
Yankees lost. All those right in the world.
There it is.
So here's what I'm concerned with when it comes to the Rock. Rock still got beef with Cody. We're going to get Rock versus Cody. I'm assuming at some point. Roman and the Rock, I don't think they're going to see eye to eye for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
My man Shohei don't speak a lick of English, but he's showing love. That's my guy.
Hey,
he got the goose like much. Look at him. Aaron Judge looking stupid.
Yo, he cost the game.
He definitely did. That's all we're gonna talk about. Take deal with it. So here's what I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that this version of the bloodline, I think they're gonna add somebody else, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think they have to. Aaron Judge about to cry. I hate to see a brother down like that, but it's nothing personal. Business is business.
Hey, it's a brother who's a manager, a black manager, won the World Series.
There you go.
Shout out to Dave Roberts. Beat the Yankees again. Just like in 2004. Again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming The Rock has to deal with Roman at some point. I think that's our WrestleMania match, to be honest with you. I think Roman and the bloodline peaks out. I think so. Because I think here's what's throwing me off. I noticed a matchup that everybody wanted, and it got postponed for a year. And I think in this situation, it's the first time where it makes sense, right?
It made sense last year, but okay.
There you go. We want Cody. Hashtag we want Cody. Maybe you forgot. Hashtag we want Cody. So it made sense last year, but this year it don't gotta be family versus family, trial by combat. Traditional. It could be nice, legit beef this time, right? He takes out Solo, reclaims himself as whatever, right? We got to deal with Jacob. I think we get Usos versus the Guerrillas of Destiny at Mania. I think that's a long-term matchup, or it's in some capacity. I don't know. I might be booking too early.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a matchup that's 13 years in the making. You know what I mean? Like I said, I don't know what we do with Solo, Jacob. I think that has a lot to do with incoming members. But to me, I don't see Rock taking their side for those very reasons. And then, like I said, we don't know what role Sammy plays in all this.
Right. He seems more focused on just Cody, though. The Rock.
Well,
I mean, but yeah, you go ahead.
Why did he come out there and do what he did? Then who was he talking to?
That's
because Cody looked at Roman like, he's not looking at me, bro. He's looking at you. And Roman was deadlocked on him.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. You can never tell with The Rock. He just does what he wants. And
he did it on purpose. And then he cut the promo on his way out the door, probably in the limo.
And don't say nothing.
And we he just keep that camera rolling. I'm the final boss. This show's not over. And he just does what he wants to do.
That's the.
But we got to get into Crown Jewel. This is ridiculous. But like I said, gentlemen, until next time, we talk about the next. As the Bloodline turns, the greatest soap opera in the history of professional wrestling, we got to get into Crown Jewel. We got to talk about this matchup. Not to mention, like I said, it carries over because we had this match at Crown Jewel. But we have a few others. We're gonna pretty much close the show with this. But good gosh, this is the Bloodline is almost as popular as the wrestling realm is to the pro wrestling community. But with that being said, we're going to take a quick break, and after that, we will come back and we will get into Crown Jewel, Seth Rollins, Bronson Reed, the freaking triple threat match between LA Knight, Carmelo Hayes, and Andrade, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton, of course, Gunther, Cody Rhodes, not to mention the 8-woman match. So it's going to be a lot to get into. Stick with us. We'll be right back after a quick message from our sponsor.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We just want to let you know the Wrestling Realm is now on Twitch. Catch Brian H. Waters or the real Dwayne Allen, and maybe both of us doing some more interactive live videos immediately after shows, or you can also catch us playing some retro games such as WWF Raw or WrestleMania the arcade game. Make sure you subscribe to the Wrestling Realm on twitch.tv/Wrestling Realm.
Watch us and subscribe to our Twitch channel at The Wrestling Realm.
What Brian H. said. So we are back. Once again, subscribe to our Twitch channel. We are back, and we are about to try to wrap up this show with our Crown Jewel preview show after we spent an hour and some change talking about our favorite soap opera as the Bloodline turns and why it is so popular in the world of professional wrestling. But it leads us into Crown Jewel because not only do we have the Bloodline Civil War, the first chapter taking place at Crown Jewel, we have a plethora of other matches. Good brothers, how do you feel about this year's Crown Jewel card as a whole?
I like it. It's it feels big, like it's a big show. I know, we used to say, okay, glorified house show. But
dude, we never said that about these ones and freaking Saudi.
Yeah, at first when they first came
out, yeah, people were saying that.
Yeah, with the belts, like them battle royals that Homeboy used to always win.
Okay. You right.
Yeah, but now, it feels like a big deal. I love the idea of the Crown Jewel Championship. Just because it gives them something.
Bragging rights.
bragging rights. I can't necessarily like pin in a winner for either one of them.
Okay.
So it'll be interesting to get in that conversation. But overall, I'm excited about this. And it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
I love afternoon wrestling.
I feel
What
like I'm
about
on
you?
the West Coast.
I know, right? The West Coast, excuse me, it's hot right now. Dodgers just won a World Series.
Yeah, the Dodgers beat the Yankees in the World Series.
It just sounds right. Just two teams with such history, and the Dodgers is on the right side of it.
Yeah.
What about you, brother Hugh? How you feeling about this year's Crown Jewel card?
It looks like a solid card. I'm just eager to see what's going to happen. There's not a lot of, to me, I can't really predict any outcomes. They're not
What?
like,
You can't predict nothing?
to be honest. No, if you look at the matches, most of them are like they're toss-ups.
True.
I'm looking at them. Yeah, most of them are toss-ups.
Which
There's so many directions you can go with each one as far as the storylines that's being told or the stories that's being told in each match.
right? And I think Triple H has been doing that on purpose.
Man, he is. Just like he trying to tell us Goldberg is not going to Saudi. Come on now.
He's lying.
Well, yeah, he's lying.
Darn well they paying that money.
He's lying. You know they want to see Goldberg.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
I think Goldberg cost Gunther
Yeah.
his championship match with Cody. And I think that leads to a bit of a situation.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
You guys feeling that one?
I'm feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but let's just jump into it real quick. The build of Bronson Reed to Seth Rollins.
Oh my God.
I want to add a segment to our show called the I Love Pro Wrestling Moments of the Week, where everybody just it could be anything. You just have this moment where it's like, bro, I really love pro wrestling. Every week that Bronson Reed has shown up on Raw causing havoc, it makes me go, bro, I really love this stuff. I really appreciate what they did. This is somebody that was cut a couple years ago,
Right.
and now he's like on the verge of being like a main event player. So seeing what he's been able to do with Seth Rollins, first of all, he started off hot with Braun Strowman, and then Seth Rollins is just like taking this to a completely different level. And sometimes monsters in pro wrestling come off as corny, a little bit cheesy, and not believable. That's how I felt about Abyss in TNA. And it's not because of Abyss's work; it's just the presentation of TNA. Because if you're looking for a freaking hardcore match during that era, he was in it. Him, Rhino, Sabu, rinse and repeat, or Jeff Hardy, depending on where he was at in his life. So to see Bronson Reed like become like a legitimate monster and see him in his space, this is the spot that he's supposed to have a while ago, right?
Yep.
Right.
Of course, he brought a child into the world when they able to make the Australia trip, but it's one of the matches that I'm looking forward to the most. You guys have a match that you're looking
It all started in Baltimore.
Baltimore's a historic space.
Mm-hmm. Wyatts made their debut.
Yep.
Our history will forever be connected to some of the greatest moments in pro wrestling.
That is true.
And I'm strongly proud of that. Randy Orton, Kevin Owens. Oh boy. I feel like they haven't had time to tell this story the correct way, but I think this is just the beginning of this situation.
Right. It's definitely going to continue.
You guys have a match that you're looking forward to the most, one that you say, yo, I this is the one, like, okay, this is going to keep my eyes glued to the TV screen. Because it's probably going to be this. Let's just keep it on. I know we spent the first hour and a half talking about it, but
I mean, it's that one, but considering for the show and the sake of content, it's for me, it's that women's all over quadruple tag team. What's that?
It's 8-man. 8 women.
Is it 8 women? I thought
it's
oh dang.
I thought it was a
no, it's my fault. It's the what do you call it? The
fatal 4-way tag match.
Yeah, there you go. I'm sorry. What I call the fatal 4-way tag. I keep calling it the fatal 4-way tag match for the women's tag team championship.
Yeah, that's what I'm excited for the most, outside of the obvious, because I want to see how they gonna all work together. I mean, I think I'm really excited for Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson because they kind of like
they about to go to finish school.
Huh?
they're about to go to finishing school in this match.
Yeah, and the thing is, they've been doing their thing. Like Lash been working, man, and
She's improved so much.
Yeah, and then Jakara's, she was hurt, but she just kind of picked up wherever she left off.
Mhm.
And then you also see like they kind of hurt by there not being a tag title, NXT tag titles.
Right.
But what I liked is that they redirected division for this championship belt.
Bingo.
That was established in the first place. The whole point was to give us a title that can go on all the shows, and Bianca and Jade has done that, and they're honestly penciling themselves in the short history of them. They're penciling themselves in as the greatest women's tag champions, in the conversation, I should say, because of the fact that they've been able to do that. They've been able to work with different women, but they also been able to tell stories where it's like you don't think about, like, we all know Bianca. Obviously, she's a main eventer, right?
Of course.
Jade is a future main eventer just on presentation
learning tree.
alone.
Yeah,
but she's still in the learning tree, and they've been able to hide that.
Bingo.
Right.
It's not they're not exposing her, and I think this is good for all the parties involved. And like I said, being able to have Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson on this, obviously Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, they're gonna do their thing. Obviously, what's their name? Damage Control.
Oh yeah.
So this is, man, let's get it.
No, yeah, this is going to be very exciting, and I think all the points that you made, in particular about the especially about how you have this mix of, you have so many different styles in the ring together, and watching them come together and see how they're going to clash. Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend are going to, I think they're ready. They look like they're ready. Yeah. And you mentioned the women's tag division and how they I like how it's a reward that you get to go to the main roster to challenge for those titles, right? So they're like, when they won, they were like, oh yeah, they're from NXT, but they earned their way to this spot. I'm like, bro, that's perfect. And so to me, it keeps the expectation of the viewer kind of under control, right? So you're not like, well, who's these new girls that all of a sudden got it? No, they're telling you, hey, they've been doing their thing in NXT. They won a tournament, or they won or whatever, and now they're here. They get to be in the front row of Raw and SmackDown. So you're like, why are they just here interrupting? Well, they earned their spot. Now they're calling their shot. You know what I mean? And they called their shot against Io and Kyrie, and then they did the same thing with Jade and Bianca. So it's like, I'm really feeling how they're booking the women's tag division, is because, like you said, that Bianca and as my brothers at the fourth side of the ring call them, the Power Buff Girls, the way that they're doing it, it's like that's the vision for what it was always supposed to be. But now they found a way to really do it in a way where it makes sense and it's effective. So yeah, I think that might be it might be a show stealer. How about you, brother Hugh? What are you looking forward to?
I'm actually
at Crown Jewel.
I'm actually looking forward to that United States Championship match,
bro.
Bro, you got two heaters in that bad boy. Well,
what
you do? Andrade and Melo, they've been delivering nothing but heat for the last month or so, just going crazy. I'm hoping for a title change, but being that new title just came out on the shop for LA Knight, I don't think it's gonna happen. But I would love to see, like, this is a type of match that you, with those three, you can kind of run that back a couple times, and you can kind of hot potato that title between those three. I mean, it just makes sense to me. Yeah. That's one of the major matches I'm looking forward to on the card right now. Everything else is just kind of like, it is what it is. That's like the underdog match that might steal the show for us.
You know they're going to go out there with the intention of trying to steal the show.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm curious to see how LA Knight, how he moves in the ring with those two. It's because I have no idea how it's possible, but Andrade and freaking Carmelo Hayes have an undeniable chemistry in the ring. I feel like they just keep saying like, oh shoot, the last one was pretty good. You guys want to do it again? They're like, yeah, cool, that's third. Like, we did three of them, right? Like, yeah, like, you want to do a fourth one? Like, well, yeah, sure. And then they do a fourth, and they're like, dang, y'all told a different story? Well, let's try this one. And even their interactions backstage, they really just don't like, they're like one-upping each other. Right. It reminds me how, like, I saw a bad version of this years ago with like MVP and Matt Hardy when they had their feud, how they were like fighting over the United States Championship, but then they became a tag team. But there was always this one-upmanship with them, even backstage. And it was like, yo, I'm seeing a realistic approach to this with Carmelo Hayes and Andrade, because you got this young hotshot like Carmelo, like, bro, you suck. And Andrade's like, check this out, bro. And they swinging on each other, because that's how men are, though. Like, bro, you're not about to keep. It's not gonna be a whole lot of back and forth. They're literally like, yo, you got one thing to say to me. Then somebody goes one thing, and now they fighting. Then they go in the ring and they deliver. I'm like, yo, how? Like, there's a generation in between you two, and yet you guys are dancing with each other. Like, yo, y'all gonna be connected at the hip at some point. Like, you're gonna always remember Andrade and Carmelo on Carmelo's way up, and even Andrade's like he's done more in WWE than he did his entire time in AEW, except that match, that random match he had a random ladder match with Buddy Murphy that was fire. So I'm curious to see how LA Knight fits in with them.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Right.
So you think he's going to help the match or hurt the match? Because he's going to bring the personality and the storyteller, but I don't think he can keep up with what they do in the ring. It's different styles. I could be wrong though.
I don't know. That's tough, but I'm definitely eager to see it for sure. I mean, just looking at the last couple of SmackDowns, he seemed to be interacting with He seemed to be interacting with him pretty well. But like you said, we haven't seen them all in the ring together at one time. So I'm eager to see that. And man, that's going to be a banger. Either way, with those two in it, at least it's going to be a banger. LA Knight is going to have to hold his ground for sure.
Yeah,
running with those two
because they hungry too.
Yeah.
So they're not going to just phone it in.
Especially Melo.
They're not going to dial it back. Yeah, Melo, that dude, y'all.
He is, bro. He is.
Yeah, he really is though. Like with all due respect, because I remember, me, I'm hard on the, our black counterparts. I'm like, yo, we always gotta carry ourselves a little bit differently because we're gonna be judged differently. That's just the way it works. But it really is him though. Like he reminds me of Aleister Black. Where I was like, bro, I hate devil gimmicks and I'm not with none of this stuff. But then I got in the ring, I said, I've never seen this guy have a bad match.
Right.
Like, you can't hate on the guy that's that good.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to seeing that match as well. It should be fun.
It's a lot.
Liv Morgan, Nia Jax. I smell shenanigans.
Me too.
Me too.
There's too much going on between NXT, between Liv and Dominic Mysterio's drama with the Judgment Day, freaking Tiffy time and Nia Jax.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna try. I'm gonna leave it alone. We're gonna watch on Saturday and we're gonna watch this story unfold.
I think Nia was this will round out her year. Queen of the ring. Yeah.
No. Why do you think that in particular when it comes to Nia Jax at this moment?
I just feel like she's been so dominant, but not annoyingly unbeatable, right?
Right.
Like Rhea was getting to that point. It was like annoyingly unbeatable. And Rhea even said it. She was like, I was booked so strong.
No dance partners.
Yeah, no dance partners. And you couldn't be like, she said, if me and Liv would have had this match last year at SummerSlam, nobody would believe it.
Sure.
And Nia's not booked that way. So that's what I do love. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, but I'm thinking she comes back. Well, she was back at the Royal Rumble. Goes to Australia, main events. Or was that the main event or semi-main event?
It was main event, wasn't it?
I think so.
Really, you should know. That's your woman.
Yeah, you're right.
So then after she do that, she joins she wins that tournament.
Yep.
And then wins the world title. So
Which I was shocked.
For real?
Yeah.
I think to me I'm like, well, she just got back. You know what I mean? I didn't think they were going to go with it real quick, but like I said, Motor City Machine Gun's been in WWE for 2 weeks and they're WWE champion. So it's no pun intended, Xavier Woods and Kofi, but it's a new day. Yes, it is.
I mean, that was also Bailey too, right? She wrestled Bailey, right? So I mean, you know how Bailey is.
Come on, that Hall of Famer. Bailey brought a smile to your face. You saw how he said that, Brian? He said, "You know how Bailey is, man."
Yeah, man. She gonna
make it do what it do, baby.
Yeah, she gonna put you over.
Yeah, Bailey's different.
Yeah, I definitely think Nia. Actually, she might come out on top, especially after
thinking of that belt.
Yeah, especially after what happened to Rhea. I just see her coming back, destroying everything. And honestly, it might end up in a cash in.
Oof. That's why I literally said I wasn't about to sit there and go into it for the reason you just said, and then you turn around and did the opposite. This is why I say I'm not teaching it, bro. That's too much.
It's a lot.
But I
it
think
would
you
make
guys
sense though.
go ahead.
It would make a lot of sense for a cash in, and here's why.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If Rhea's out, Liv gotta
Allegedly.
have somebody to dance with.
Okay.
And on Raw, it's like everybody's occupied. Why not send Tiffy over there? Let her go ahead and be in a feud and program with, and Liv got to chase her.
Whew. I think. You might be on to something, Brandon.
That would be crazy.
I think Tiffany Stratton, personality wise, can keep up with Liv Morgan now.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like she has it. Like she's really, really good.
Yep.
Like she is like, so some people just get it, and she's one like when you can look at a superstar and say, "There's no way in the world that you didn't grow up watching this stuff," and like it's like riding a bike for you. Like once you figure it out, now you're just taking off. And Kurt Angle was the same way. Like you couldn't tell me Kurt Angle didn't grow up watching professional wrestling. He's one of the greatest to ever lace up the boots, according to Triple H. Like he says.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy's like, no, I didn't grow up watching wrestling and going to shows. Like this is something I was an amateur wrestler. And this is something I, gravitated towards once my amateur, my Olympic career was just about done.
Mm-hmm.
But you couldn't tell. And Tiffany Stratton is that. Like I said, I noticed her when she got the beef with Becky Lynch because I was like, all right, well, I'm watching NXT. The man's over there now, and I noticed her. So it's like, I don't know. Live
real quick.
Mm-hmm.
The WWEID program.
Let's get into it.
Because when you think about Tiffy, you think about Bianca. Shout out to Pablo the Don. We was having a fun conversation about, go back and forth about the passionate wrestlers versus the people who are in these NIL programs. And I like it. I like the fact that I get what WWE is doing with the WWEID, and I've seen some garbage on the timeline of, they only picking certain, that's WWE, they're going to just water it down like they did WWE UK. I also think when they had WWE, like they feel like they're going to raid the indies, raid those promotions they're working with, and then
the same stuff they always talking about.
Vince did it first in the 80s. It's how it works.
But then WWE-ified, and then you're not going to get your precious indie wrestling. But I think it's a different time and age, and I think now getting them in schools, I think the idea is to get to them before they get the bad habits. That's
what they've always been trying to do.
Yeah, and that's the a lot of times they'll take don't want to be mean. Yeah, let's be mean. So they'll take a Leo Rush and leave Drolix because when Leo Rush was there, he was younger. So it's like he's younger, he's faster. He don't got that indie stink on him.
True.
So let's leave somebody that's been here for 10 years, unless you're exceptionally well. Who was it? So I think now what they're doing, and I tweeted, they taking over the wrestling business. Because now it's like they've been hitting the independent. I mean the athletes, right? Yeah. And I don't look at the athletes always as a thing where it's like, oh man, I can't do this now. This is my backup plan. Because like you listen to like Jada Parker, she brought up the fact that like her coach is like, oh yeah, this is a good opportunity. And most of the time, these people have wrestling backgrounds. They know, they've heard of wrestling. Their family, like Bianca was saying, that was her brother, right? And then they get in. You gotta fall in love if you take a bump. Anybody who ever taken a bump, you don't just do that for fun,
right? Of course,
you gotta fall in love with it. So now I'm looking at it like with the WWE ID program. You look at the schools now separating the indies and the shindies.
Bingo. Yeah,
they go into high level schools. Cody School, Seth School, Rikishi School, Booker T School. They're not hitting shindies.
Yeah, but the crazy part about that is, and brother, I want you to jump in. I don't understand why people don't realize that this is how it always was in the first place, right? Mm-hmm. If you look at wrestling in the 80s and stuff, like everybody didn't come. Like I understand the territory days are coming up in that system, but it's like, how you recruit your next superstar or wrestlers. Like, this is what they used to do. They used to find football players. They found bouncers. They found bigger guys. And they asked them, hey, that's like the bodybuilders. Like, why all of a sudden now that it's like organized and harnessed? So it's like they didn't all go after the same wrestlers. They didn't always have to go after the same guys, right? It's not like they said, oh, okay, we're going to only go after amateur wrestlers and say, be a professional wrestler. They went after all types of people. They went after college athletes, you know, they went after bouncers. They went after football players. They went after bodybuilders. They were more than one type. And then it was the people that you know, came up in wrestling school or whatever the case may be. Yeah. Like, why are people so like thrown off by the fact that like, yo, they got the college athletes. That's one group. They're not only going after that group anymore. And now that they have, first of all, it's obvious that a lot of wrestlers have their own wrestling schools, right? And it's like, it's almost like a stamp of approval because you know that in these places they're teaching you, hey, this is how you work on this level, not just how you work to go, you know, hit the circuit and try to start your career, which is nothing wrong with that. That's the lifeblood of the business. But now they're funding these places. They're saying, look, this is what we want to be able to teach people. This is where people are going to give an opportunity. So some of these wrestlers are going to get an influx of students all of a sudden, because now everybody's going to be like, oh shoot, if I go train with Cody, if I kick out $5,000 or whatever it is to train with Rikishi and Booker T and you know, whatever region I'm in, I got a chance to at least be seen. I got a chance to at least be put out there. I got a chance for William Regal or Shawn Michaels or somebody or Triple H to come at least discover me. So I'm not seeing what the pushback is. Like, yeah, the WWE is trying to take over the world. It happened one time, and it's called professional wrestling. That's why we enjoy it now.
Right.
Because people, man, they just have this
people gotta be difficult
vendetta against WWE, and there's this, you know, because they think they own wrestling and this, that, and the other, you know, and it's like, bro, go outside.
I mean, do they not?
I mean, if you like, want to keep it 100.
That's what I always hate about like WrestleMania weekend, and people start like, oh yeah, I'm here for this, I'm here for that. Like, okay, that's cool and all, but you do realize
why are you here?
Yeah, right, you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the WWE.
Yeah, let's be real. Yeah.
If the WWE is in Las Vegas, go ahead and run a show in Florida that weekend. You tell me what happens.
It was Cody said that, and I understood what he meant. But I mean, Cody was like Hogan. He was always ploying to come back. That's why he created AEW. But sorry, go to bed.
You act like the Dodgers didn't win the World Series.
Right.
No, my child in the other room will say on a scale of 1 to 10, on a scale of about to go to sleep for a drive, how chill do you want the beat to be? He's supposed to be making a beat for my other show.
Hey, that's crazy.
Y'all getting work done before you go to bed. That's what I'm talking about.
No, he think he's slick. I do work for dad.
Bingo.
Right.
I wasn't gonna say nothing because I knew exactly what he was doing, but I wasn't gonna try to throw him under the bus. He said on a scale of 1 from here, from you going on the drive, he tried to be. Nah, I'm not. I'm doing some work. You know, I'm putting together this beat for you. Leave my nephew alone. He knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing.
That dude is a trip, bro.
What do you think about the WWEID program now? WWE kind of putting there. First of all, real quick, brother Hugh.
Yes.
I knew something was up when I found out that Stephanie McMahon was at GCW. Remember the time she was at GCW randomly?
Just
and
randomly,
like,
right.
Why is she there out of all places? GCW is modern day ECW, kind of, you know, that type of audience, but it's very, very popular, very lucrative. You know what I mean? And she's like, oh, Stephanie McMahon said you're taking in the site to meet. I said, for what? The billionaire princess? What the heck are you doing at a GCW show? Because you for love of the business? So I had a feeling something was up. And then we saw something similar. Like, you remember when with Evolve and NXT had a kind of a partnership, and you know, Gabe Sapolsky, who used to, you know, who started Ring of Honor, that kind of moved on, and you know, Austin Theory used to go back and forth. So it's like I feel like we saw this precursor of this before.
Triple H Ben said it though a long time ago, right? He said we about to take this bad boy worldwide.
I mean, he was getting to it. He wasn't just talking about out the country. He was talking about on the
and all different. Yeah.
But what do you think about it, bro? How do you feel about it? We've been indie connoisseurs for a long time. You've hit the pavement. You and Brian H and Brother Brady. You and Brian definitely have worked quite a few in these ups and downs. But so how do you feel about the WWEID program?
I think at the end of the day, it's going to end up being a positive for everyone, for all the athletes out there. I'm not just talking about wrestlers, your passionate wrestlers. I'm talking about athletes out there. You have an influx of athletes going out trying different things nowadays, and if you have that ability, why not? And the good thing about it is it promotes your wrestlers. It promotes the wrestling schools, like you said, the Cody Rhodes, the Seth Rollins, the Booker T's. It promotes those guys, and it puts their promotion on a little bit more, gains more exposure for them and more money for them financially. You know what I'm saying? So they're good. Basically, they organized and established a farm system.
Bingo.
They had it before, but now it's actually written down on paper and it's presented to everybody the proper way. Look, in baseball, they have a farm system. The Baltimore Orioles have the Bowie Bay Sox, Norfolk Tides, and so like you have levels. It's different levels.
Spitting that hot fire right now, Brother Hugh.
So that's basically what they did. They just established it and threw it right in your face. Like, look, we're not sneaking around doing it anymore. We don't care. We already know we're the top dog.
Swinging it nuts. I don't care no more.
Right. We're the top dog. Everybody who pretty much 9 times out of 10, any and everybody who jumps into wrestling, they want to be where? What's the dream?
Yeah.
WrestleMania. WrestleMania. That's it. Right? We said that. So I'm with it. I mean, you got a lot of talent out here, and why not give them an opportunity? If they willing to pay and put in the work, hey, why not? That's the best way to get that, that sense of direction. We talk about, like you said, a lot of people from back in the day, you just jump into the indies and you just kind of like floating around trying to figure things out. Yeah. Well, why not just go somewhere where you have that mentors, you have mentors around. You have people that can train you the proper way, that can get you prepared for being in the spotlight. You see what I'm saying? So it just makes sense to me.
It's something you said that was very key, brother. It's like they've been doing it. This ain't new. Like, I don't know why everybody's like this is not. First of all, you watch everybody around the Rock's age, Rock, Undertaker, that our generation of main top level guys. They said the same thing when things weren't going right. They would send us to Memphis, the Lawless territory. Like Lawler was on commentary on Monday. You know what I mean? Or in whatever days he was in pay-per-views, but he was running this territory in Memphis, and he was doing the indies his own self. If you watch Young Rock, that's where they sent Flex Cavana to. He's like, kid, y'all, you got to lose the title tonight because they're calling you back up. Did the same thing with ECW. That's why ECW stayed afloat, gave him a $500,000 loan to keep the doors open, because like I didn't realize that Al Snow came from WWF. I thought he was an ECW guy. They said no, he signed with WWE, and they sent him down there for development because they didn't have an official system. They don't officially, you know what I mean? So it's like, we need a place for guys to go, for one, to work, to get exposure. And like, this isn't the first time Canada, when Mark Henry got in trouble, they sent him to Canada to go train with Stu Hart and Canadian Stampede. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you ain't ready, bro.
Like, the freaking Dr. Tom Pritchard, the same thing. Like, what are you saying? Like even though the territory system was officially done, this is not something new. Like you said, WWE has been doing this unofficially forever. Just now they're like, look, man, we're just gonna call it official. We're gonna put our stamp on it and say, look, this is what it is. So
everybody wants to know, like, is NXT officially the third brand now? We've been talking about it for forever.
$1 million question, Brian H. What you got? What do you say?
As far as what? Sorry, I was cutting.
Is NXT officially the third brand, or is it or is it still AAA?
There we go. See, when he got technical, now you got to figure this out.
Right now, it's AAA.
Okay.
AAA plus.
Okay.
Not quite
if you know what it is. It's like if it's it's AAA. I want to say the G League. No, not the G League. What's that one? I should know it. I just was doing a whole show on it. The one that the WNBA is coming out with. Unrivaled. That's
what?
Unrivaled. Like, you know how they're gonna go during the live WNBA superstars gonna go play in the Unrivaled League.
I didn't know that. And this is
I heard
WNBA
about
owned.
it.
Yeah, like Caitlin Clark is gonna be down there. It's a whole list of them. A lot of like
Oh, because they probably girls don't want to go overseas.
bingo. So to me, that's what NXT is. It's still a big deal. It's still a real big deal, but it will be by the time this really get established,
Mhm.
it'll be definitely the third brand. Like I said, the CW stuff is huge.
Yeah.
I'm ready for the crossovers. Y'all know I've been waiting to get one of them dudes on All American or one of the ladies on All American. The stuff. That's what I'm waiting for, the crossover stuff. You know, you got like somebody like Wendy Chu who can do like some of the sci-fi stuff. So, but when you like, we didn't get much into it, but like Halloween Havoc, a fun show,
Mhm.
a
That's
very
totally
fun
right.
show, and we always know they're gonna deliver.
Yeah.
But even last night, like I turned on NXT because I'm like,
Mhm.
flipping between the game, and it was just like it was hitting. It's must see TV. You know, they got Rich Holland going again. You know,
I see that.
Yeah, he main event player down there now.
I'm with it. I'm with it.
It's the reason why, you know, I'm not fans of these guys, but it's the reason why Bubba Ray and Devon like, all right, we'll work with a guy like Trick, you know, because as hungry, I feel like when I see Trick Williams, because somebody who played football, but a lifelong wrestling fan.
Sure.
When I see him, I see somebody who's hungry. Everybody can talk about he green as grass or whatever, and that might be true, but
he's not that bad anymore.
He's not. Yeah, he's not.
right.
He was a developmental star. How was he supposed to be?
But see, that's the thing. You hit it right on the head, right?
Yeah.
The key word is star. He was
Right.
in developmental, and in developmental, he became a star
Bingo.
because of the way he carried himself. You know, I look back at the Wale Mania in Dallas.
Mhm.
Now, mind you, this is when Trick was still with Mello, Trick and Mello gang, and Mello was just the North American champion. Trick wasn't even wrestling,
Right.
but you knew he was somebody. He's like a football player, you know. People,
Yep.
You know, you like, I don't know who you are, but you somebody, and he's been carrying himself, and he's always creative with these mixtapes and these diss tracks. You know, like me, I don't listen to a lot of rap music no more, but I love a good diss track. You throw a diss track, man, I want to hit with somebody.
There you go. You just like the Bloodline. You here for the drama. That's the problem. You Bloodline members.
That's how I've always been with wrestling. You know, y'all can keep the flippity dippity.
That's the shout out to Young Bucks. Take it personal.
Right.
Flippity dippity.
Bro, shout out to Private Party winning the tag titles.
Oh
Only because you know we watched them come up. But that's all that match was, a spot fest. How many times you saw it?
Bro, I stopped watching it because I got tired of it. It was just too long, and oh my god. Look at this.
Yo, here's the thing. I found myself getting
Oh my gosh.
Because Isaiah's the one I like more. So I'm like, wait a minute. No, y'all about to win? Nah. Because I'm you know, Private Party gonna break. Like, oh, and then the Young Bucks we gotta do Kenny Omega's moves. Trigger, like the same thing.
Like,
bro.
goddamn, this match going on forever. Like,
Brother, you said, oh my gosh.
Tell some freaking stories. You know, they want to they're annoying. They're just
We talking
annoying.
about the Bucks or Private Party?
No, the Bucks.
Okay, just checking.
They great for the wrestling business.
They are.
They just annoying. They annoy me, but you know, they have a following. But that's the thing, you know, like you see all this stuff, it's like, all right, whatever. But you know, the drama, and that's what Trick Williams is doing. That's what makes him good. Like Mello had to figure it out. We watched Mello get that personality and then go to the main roster. Remember 2 years ago, everybody was trying to book him to the main roster, and we was like, "Whoa,
oh yeah, way
slow
too
down."
early.
Sure, pump the bricks. Yep.
And Trick had more personality than him as a valet.
He
You know
did.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, as a mouthpiece. Like I was like, I was when I first saw their dynamic, I was confused. I said, well, they both like they're young dudes. I was like, but why does like Trick Williams like doing all like the trash talking for him? But he was more of a believable. Like I believe who he was more than I believed in who Mello kept saying he was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But eventually he grew into it, and it's like
He did.
when he say he him, I'm like, yeah, you're right, bro. You got it. So it's a good point though about Trick Williams. And y'all ready for his appearance? Well, he's supposed to be on Last Legends cooking show. They got too much going on.
Oh, boy.
They're gonna get heat in the kitchen.
I saw the preview and I was like, oh, come on, y'all. It's children watching this. That's how I felt when I saw it. He's like, oh, it's hot. It's hot in here. I'm gonna take this jacket off. You don't mind, do you? I said, oh, hey, come on now. Wait a second.
You'll never keep his
I'm not
shirt
gonna
on. He's
watch
like,
this,
Philly's
bro.
so cold. I put a shirt on.
Yeah, she's like, oh, okay. She said, oh, okay. So you went to the gym this morning? I said, oh, okay, that's strike two. Y'all keep your hands to yourselves. We gonna cook or what we doing?
They got all the condiments ready. You know what I mean?
Don't say condiments, bro. Oh, jeez, bro. I said, oh, because everybody kept saying, like, oh, y'all, it's gonna get hot. I was like, I said, yo, why the heck would they let them do that? But like I said, speaking of NXT,
that's HBK, yo.
You said what?
Sorry.
Now go ahead. What'd you say?
That's your boy HBK.
That's it. My brother texted me. My brother texted me. He was like, bro, what is Shawn Michaels doing in NXT? The women's division is on fire right now. And I was like, yo, HB Shizzle down there showing the heck off.
Yeah.
My bad. Magic Johnson on MLB Network. Urban Magic.
Yeah, boy.
Just like
Showtime.
Magic, baby. Just like Magic, you know. And Magic Johnson, baby. And the Dodgers
gotta
don't
be
win
like
the
Showtime.
championship, baby. You know, I told you I own championships, baby. And I even think my Washington Commanders gonna win the title, baby.
Right.
All right, Magic, you gotta chill, bro.
Yeah,
Magic
bro.
bringing winning culture. You can't deny he don't bring winning culture to stuff.
Hey, bro.
Yo, everybody said, like, back at ESPN, they was like, yo, talk about aura personified.
Oh yeah,
Just
he's
like
the man.
Magic Johnson walk in, he's like,
Big smile.
you know,
Showtime, baby. Like, oh, that's Magic.
That man, hey, bro.
I think we had him and Kobe at the same time.
Who had
Not playing together, but just like
still just
in the
sit
arena
with those two.
Man, what? You know how all the smoke say, I don't know if you listen to it, but like at the end of the show, they always ask me, like, 5 dinner guests, dead or alive, who would you have?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Imagine
yeah.
you just,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think Bus even, she might have said, you know, or maybe they asked her like her top Lakers, like Magic and Kobe. Greatest franchise ever. Greatest franchise ever.
Yeah. What used to be. Speaking of greatest franchises.
Hey man, the Staples Center, I ain't calling it the crypto. It's got aura. You walk in there. I got to see Bronny James make his debut, shorty. It's got aura.
Why do you sound so proud to say that though?
Yeah, I don't know.
Bro, that was history. The Griffiths was in the building.
True. But the Griffiths were actually both good, right? Weren't they? They were both pretty
Hey, Bronny scored his first basket tonight in Cleveland. The NBA is the best, the second best booking league. They book it so well.
Of course, coming from like, see, we're wrestling fans, so you know when something's being booked.
Absolutely.
Speaking of booked, NXT getting extreme next week, brothers. I mean, Brian has brought it up. Like this is I love these type of shows. You know, we got an NXT. You know, we didn't talk about the freaking soap opera known as the Bloodline, but we started the conversation, and it's a lot of people watching this live. Well, shoot, let's just give the people what they want. NXT 2300. You talked about your boys Team 3D. I also want to bring another segment to the show. I want to do something called Unpopular Opinion, where every week everybody gives an unpopular opinion and nobody can talk about it. So like it has to be like my unpopular opinion this week is I think CM Punk's AEW t-shirt was better than his WWE t-shirt. That is all. And that's the end of the conversation. Because everybody has 4 different opinions and then you can't argue about it. You just move on. That's just so anyway. Like they're getting extreme. Like Team 3D, at least I think Team 3D is a cooler name than the Dudleys. Say that. That is all. You can't argue with me. That's it. You have to move on. We getting extreme next week with NXT. The 2300 arena, you know, historic space. I'm seeing a lot of ECW guys pop up. You know, RVD made it very clear he's gonna be showing up. Bubba Ray. I would love to see Devon show up too, but I don't know how him and Triple H fight him.
Yeah,
you know. He was a Vince McMahon guy. He wasn't a Triple H guy, but I love to see the Dudley show up, man. How you guys feeling about NXT getting a little extreme? Shawn Michaels, you know, taking things to Philly. Hopefully, there's no Bloodline members in action because Philly's not a good spot for you Bloodline guys. But
hey, man, stay away.
It might be
one match I'm looking forward to.
What's that?
Javon Evans and Wesley.
There it is.
Yeah, that too.
Look,
Come on now. My favorite.
Just say
you know it.
Just say it.
Oh God.
Brother, he doesn't see the buzz with Jada Parker yet. He's not believing yet. He doesn't believe in her.
Bro, all you gotta do is look at the promos. Like you feel it. It's real. When she talk, It's real. And shout out to Lola Vice because Lola ain't no slouch. It's a reason she beat Shayna. You know, she beat like in a MMA match or the fight pit. She beat Shayna Baszler. Now NXT Shayna, it's like when she go down there, she just like morphs into this unstoppable figure. And then
don't disrespect Shayna Baszler like that. Talking about she morphs into this unstoppable figure.
Right.
She does. Like, yo, NXT Shayna was a problem, and Lola Vice beat her. So, like, that was the ultimate like put over. Now you got like Jada Parker up and coming, and like she took to it quick. And like I said, she gonna get out of the mud because OTM, they like when they put her on screen with them, it benefits them. It doesn't not like she don't need them. You know, this usually that's professional wrestling. Like if you go back in your history, you'll see a lot of times. I actually wrote this on a blog one time. You'll see a lot of times that the valets tend to get over.
Look at Carmella with Enzo and Cass.
Yep. You know, so I'm excited for this match. I was like, Dawn Marie, but you know, I get it. Whatever.
Don't do that. There you go again, yo. There you go. Hold on, brother.
Because Dawn Marie is, I mean,
don't say no. What you about to say about Dawn Marie and ECW? Say something crazy out your mouth. I dare you. I want everybody that's watching this. So go ahead.
I feel like it was because they couldn't get like Francine or somebody.
There it is. He had a Hollywood moment.
What?
You just had to be a heel.
No, it's just Dawn Marie treated us nice in Philly that time, or Allentown. Let's get the real town, right? Yeah, or maybe I don't think actually we wasn't in Allentown, but you know what I'm saying. We was outside of like Westchester, whatever, wherever we was.
Yeah,
Dawn Marie was nice, but it just didn't like. I ain't get like, oh my goodness, it's Dawn Marie, but you know it's cool.
That's because if you want to keep it 100. I don't want to say the NXT audience probably is not that familiar with Dawn Marie because it's such a long time ago.
Yes,
she really wasn't one of the top stars at the time.
Yes,
I don't think you would get any different. Even with Francine, I don't think you would get much of a reaction. Like at GCW, you probably would get a crazy reaction because that audience is kind of like you feel me from that era. But you know, NXT's audience is getting younger and younger. Am I tripping or does it not seem that way?
No, it definitely it is getting younger, even though they don't necessarily cater to children. It's easy to take children there.
Yeah.
But then it's like, you know, it's because I was able to say even jazz, but WWE done kind of like
they wouldn't.
Yeah.
They gave her a Legends deal, I think. No, that was Jacqueline. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was Jacqueline.
But I think Jazz signed one too, though.
Did she? Maybe she did.
I thought they announced that she signed one too.
Yeah, she another one. I'll always show love, and I was like, man, I didn't like you because I wasn't supposed to. She beat up Trish Stratus, but
heck, her and her husband, freaking Rodney Mack, they was a bunch of bullies.
They were.
What?
Like who does that? Just beating everybody up, though. Are you guys looking forward to a more extreme presentation of NXT?
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming that's what they're going to probably do. Look, brother, he's like, nah, I don't care.
I mean, okay. I'm gonna enjoy the show either way.
How do you, brother? How do you feel about ECW? Because, and I'm not talking about when Kane had the belt. Okay, so let's just take that off the table. Mm-hmm. We're taking Kane off the table. Okay,
Joe, taking Kane off the table.
Original ECW. I was fine.
Okay. Yeah, well, I don't want to say like original ECW because you know what I mean, that it was, you know, from like 94 to 99, a 5-year gap. Wherever you fall in line in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I'm gonna tell you right now, I loved ECW, but not like I didn't love ECW because I would be like, oh snap, ECW coming on Friday and TNT. I would turn it on, and I'd be like, I ain't gonna lie, bro, this is a little bit boring, and I would change the channel.
Mm-hmm.
But it was wrestling, so I would try to give it a shot. I was like, bro, because you see the promo package, right? Just Incredible, Diamond Cutter, somebody off a ladder. You see Rhino, but the TV shows didn't really have all those stars. They wasn't loaded like that. And I was like, bro, you gotta wait for the pay-per-view. So I would turn it on because it was wrestling, but then I'd be like, yo, no offense, you get tired of seeing like Mikey Whipwreck and Tajiri, you know, start showing. And I was like, all right, okay, I want to see some I want to see ECW stuff. I want to see tables, but you didn't get all that on the TV.
Not on the regular TV.
So wherever you fall in line with wherever you saw ECW in that style of wrestling, how did you feel about it?
I mean, like you said, it was an alternative. I wasn't really really invested. Like, oh my God, this is a must watch. Nah, because like you said, on regular television, that's what we had. Like, you didn't get all of that extraness.
Right, on Friday nights.
Yeah, the storylines were lackluster. It was just it was rugged. It had a lot of grit to it, but I was all WWE anyway. If it WWE, then I went to WCW. That's it. That's it. And then right after that, that's when I go elsewhere. You know, it was just an alternative for me. I didn't really care to tune in all the time because like I said, those characters, they weren't that appealing to me because I'm big into storylines and backstories and all that good stuff.
Right.
Because I've been trained. I've been trained by WWE, right? You know what I mean? So, but yeah, that's how I felt about it. But I mean, I'm not against it for sure.
ECW, I love all their, like, you watch some of their pay-per-views, it's some of the most fun shows you ever see. But like that weekly television was rough to watch. First time I saw somebody New Jack use a staple gun on somebody's forehead.
Crazy.
New Jack was wild. I mean, vacuum cleaners.
He's crazy.
He's just some wild stuff. I was like, bro, is he stapling somebody's forehead? Lost my mind.
That's tough to watch. You ever seen something like that in person?
Yeah, who match was that with somebody actually literally stapled something to somebody's forehead and it was like a piece of paper studs. Bro, Ring of Honor, Jay Briscoe versus I think Adam Cole. And I think I don't know if it was Ladder Wars or whatever they called the match, but it was for the Ring of Honor World Title, and they went nuts. What ladder was it? It was one of them freaking matches they had where it was like, I forgot what it's called, but it was like pretty much hardcore rules, anything goes. And he literally stapled a piece of paper to Jay Briscoe's head.
I remember that. That's crazy.
I was like, yo, is the paper stuck to his head? So, you know,
wrestling is fake though.
Nostalgia runs, but like I said, man, I think this is a good place for us to stop. We had a good conversation today. I appreciate you, good brothers. Like I said, I missed last week, but we covered a lot of ground today.
Yep.
It was a crazy 2 weeks, but if anybody was able to pretty much recap what happened in the last 2 weeks and do it with pizzazz and flair and lots of fun, it's the Wrealm. So, and the numbers are proving it. So
we do.
Shout out to everybody that stuck with us. I know this is the hottest party this late night on a Wednesday going to Thursday morning as we record.
Halloween.
Is that today? It sure is.
Yeah, it's on Halloween. Yeah.
Please be safe out there with the kiddies. Watch your candy. Watch your children. All that good jazz. Enjoy yourself. Don't enjoy yourself too much. Follow us and subscribe to all of our social media channels at the road. What do you say?
I said brush your teeth.
That too. Stabbies are real because everybody's insurance ain't that great.
Right.
Follow us on all social media platforms at Wrestling Wrealm. Follow Championship Culture on Instagram at Championship Culture _ and catch it every Tuesday at 8 p.m. on youtube.com/The Wrestling Wrealm playlist Championship Culture. You guys have a next show lined up? Can you sneak
not
it
yet.
off?
Can't disclose that yet. Not yet.
Bluffing. They know what they're doing. They just don't want to tell nobody. It is okay, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate you joining us. Shout out to everybody that engaged in the conversation with us and had comments, all that good jazz. We are getting out of here. We'll catch you next week. We're going to watch Crown Jewel. I don't know. Are we getting a post show this week, gentlemen? I'm putting you on the spot. Yes.
I don't know because I'm going to be MIA.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I try to catch him. I try to put him on the spot, brother Hugh. I said I try to catch him. So
I got a long week coming up next week because of election. So we press boxing Sunday.
Oh gosh.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So I need the weekend to chill.
I bet you be doing that.
On that note, we'll catch up on Crown Jewel after that. Hopefully, we'll see how it all plays out. We'll see where this goes with the Bloodlines as the Bloodline turns. Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, Bronson Reed, the ladies, everybody. We're out of here, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate y'all. Catch you next week. Peace.
Houston, we have a problem.
For all exclusive shows and bonus material,